Kyle Larson continues his domination NASCAR Cup Series, picks up his 4th straight win here at Nashville Superspeedway. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. I just got done watching California for Nashville Superspeedway. Let's go ahead and talk about it really quickly. This is the first time we were racing in the Nashville area since 1984 for the NASCAR Cup Series. For the first time in the history of NASCAR, we're racing on the Nashville Superspeedway circuit. Now, NASCAR would have to basically delay the start of the race for 10 minutes due to parking issues, similar to what happened in 2011 at Kentucky, as it was the first time that Nashville Superspeedway was hosting a cup race and the race has sold out. There was a lot of logistical issues when it came to parking, and we would see those issues. And NASCAR, because of this, decided to delay the start of the race for about 10 minutes, which is really unfortunate to see. I think they'll do better next time. They have a lot better things they need to work on when it comes to that. Also need more concession stands. Heard a lot of issues with concession stands where people were standing in line for a long time. They've got to do a better job about that as well, but that's my honest opinion on that situation. So now let's go ahead and talk about the race. So before the green flag drop, a couple drivers would have to go to the rear of the field due to unapproved adjustments. William Byron, Eric Jones, who got some damage in qualifying, and Quinn Half would all have to go to the rear of the field for unapproved adjustments. William Byron had qualified really well for the race. He actually was qualified, I think, like 4th or 5th in the race, but he basically had to go to the rear of the field. Also, for the green flag even dropped as well, Ryan Blaney had some damage had to come down the road because as he was coming onto the banking of the track, he got a lot of damage on the right and the left rear quarter panel, I believe, and would have to come down the road to basically fix that, which is really unfortunate to see. But he was able to get back on the track and had to start at the tail end because of this, but that would hurt him there. We go green flag would start off. Eric Almirola starting on the pole and Kyle Busch started on the outside. Eric Almirola would lose the lead and Kyle Busch was able to get the race lead. Then a couple guys would basically go high going into corner Chase Elliott. And I was when Chase Elliott was trying to make it 3 wide on the outside. Bowman and both of them drove up the racetrack, unfortunately, and lost a lot of spots. Meanwhile, going to turn number 1, Quinoff got into the outside wall, and he lost the tires. So, unfortunately, it looks like there's a chance that the crew chief and the other people that work in the team could end up getting suspended because of this, because of the situation where they weren't tight. The tire basically came off, and that would bring out the first caution race, which is really unfortunate because it's really not Quinoff's fault. It was nothing he could do there, but he would finish last this race in 39th. We go back racing a last 6 with Kyle Busch on the inside, Eric Almirola on the outside, and going into turn number 2, Kyle Larson makes an incredible move, makes a 3-wide move in the middle. You wouldn't think that would be able to happen, but he makes a 3-wide move and drives straight up to the front. He was able to take the race lead. Then we see a bunch of cars start coming down pit road. We actually say green for Eric got with Kyle Larson pretty much dominating, and we basically end up seeing green flag pit stops at the time, where we'd see some basically couple people end up getting speeding penalties during that time. Cole Custer, I should say. Kyle Busch was really starting to cash Kyle Larson for. He was right behind him, and Kyle Busch actually would be able to beat Kyle Larson up pit road. The next caution race would come out for an issue for Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick, because on cold tires, they were coming off the inside of pit road. He was really pushing it too hard, and he was not happy with himself. He would basically spin out coming off pit road and bring out the second caution of the event. Because of this, during Grand Flag pit stops, a lot of drivers would basically get trapped 1 lap down. Now, because this wave around, a lot of guys like Kevin Harvick, Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin, among others, they would basically have to get trapped, basically have to take the wave around, while Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch would cycle back to the point. We go back racing in lap 53 with Kyle Busch on the inside of Larson. Outside, Kyle Larson was eventually able down the backstretch. He was able to clear Kyle Busch with the race lead. A lap or 2 later, Ryan Blaney basically had, and another driver had a brake issue. He basically get into the outside wall really hard and bring out the next caution of this event. And then we go back racing in lap 62 with Kyle Larson being the leader of this event. And then with around 10 laps to go in the first stage of this race, Chris Buescher and Justin Haley were running really well in the race. Unfortunately, both of them at the same time end up having brake issues, brake rotor failures, and they would bring out the next caution in this race. Because of this, there was a question on if you wanted to stay out or you wanted to come down pit road. A lot of the leaders decided to come down pit road, while drivers like Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch, Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, they all decided to stay out to get some extra points and potential playoff points and stage points to help them in the position. We go back racing lap 86 with Chase Elliott being the race leader, Kurt Busch on the outside. We see a really good battle between Chase Elliott and Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch looked like he was going to have a chance to pass Chase Elliott, but Chase Elliott eventually was able to clear. And meanwhile, Kyle Larson was really driving out the front. He was able to get all the way up to 3rd position, but he was not able to get the stage win. Coming off the corner, Chase Elliott was able, on that gamble, was able to win stage 1 here at Nashville Superspeedway. We go back racing a lap, I think we go back racing a lap 98 with Kyle Larson being the race leader. Kurt Busch also had to pit again at time for a loose wheel, which is really unfortunate to see. But Kyle Larson would bring us back to the green. He would keep the lead for a long time. Then, while during the second stage of the event, about 25 laps into the run, Matt DiBenedetto was having a very solid run, running a top 5, top 10, a majority of the early portion of the race. He lost, it looked like apparently he lost a cylinder, and it was really slowing down on the racetrack, which was really important to see, because Matty D was having a really good run. It would have been a really good points today, considering Chris Buescher had issues early in the event. But unfortunately, Matty D's chances of contending for the win would fall out. Then we'd see a couple drivers have more issues where David Starr, he unfortunately would lose his tire, but they keep it green. Then a few laps later, Bubba Wallace would basically run into the brake rotor, I think, from David Starr, and he would basically spring out and bring out the caution of the race, would be the 5th or 6th caution of the event. All lead lap cars would basically come down the road for tires. Mark Truex Jr. was already having issues, and basically because during yesterday's race, they had, I think, AJ Allmendinger got a penalty for not changing the lane going to the left side. Truex basically did the same thing. I don't agree with the penalty, to be honest with you. I don't know why they started enforcing that. They really never really enforced that before up until this point. But he would get his penalty, again, for speeding on pit road. Also, Christopher Bell would get an uncontrolled tire penalty as well, and they would fall to the back. We go back racing a lap 139 with Kyle Larson being a race leader, Kyle Busch on the outside. Denny Hamlin was really trying to get Kyle Larson slowed down so he can make a three-right move, but he was not really able to do that. We keep going for a while, and then with around 127 laps to go in the event, Cole Custer would unfortunately lose tire. He was having a very strong run. SHR was doing really good today. I'll talk about SHR later in this race review. But Cole Custer, who's having a very solid run, was running 14th. Unfortunately, he would lose the tire, and because of brakes once again, he would bring out the next caution of this event. We would see a lot of the lead lap cars decide to come down the road, except a couple who decided to take 2 tires. Chase Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, and Austin all decided to take 2 tires, while the rest of the leaders, including Kyle Larson, took 4 tires on that restart. And then we go back racing lap 81 with Chase Briscoe, who's having one of the best runs he's had all year on the inside, and Tyler Reddick on the outside. We would go back, and then we would see a lap or two later, Kyle Larson make a really good move on the inside, and it was able to pass Chase Briscoe for the race lead. And Tyler Reddick also had incredible save on the backstretch as well. A lap or two later, he was able to save, which was really impressive to see. But coming off the final corner, Kyle Larson was able to win stage 2 here at Nashville Superspeedway. Quite a few cars decided to come down pit road. Drivers like Austin Hill, Chase Briscoe, Chris Bell, guys who were kind of up front and out pitted. They decided to come over while the rest of the leaders decided to stay out. Yeah, Kyle Larson would restart on the inside. William Byron had troubles throughout the day to begin with, had some damage early in the event. He basically was on the inside, and it looked like he was going to have a chance to contend with Kyle Larson, but Kyle Larson was able to clear on that ensuing restart. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch looked like he might have had a cylinder potentially going down, or maybe the tires are really bad. The Pedigree curse, guys, because remember he had Pedigree, the sponsor Pedigree, on his car, which really hurt him overall. Kyle Busch would basically fall back to really far back and start having issues here later in the race. Meanwhile, a lap or two later, Ryan Preece, unfortunately, who's having a very strong run, will once again be another driver that kind of bit the dust from the brake rotor situation. He would bring out the next caution of this event. We go back racing a lap 2 of 3 of the event with Kyle Larson being a race leader, William Byron's inside. Kyle Larson's able to basically get the jump at this point. And like I said, Kyle Busch was really starting to lose a ton of ground. Something was they didn't really even know what was going on, to be honest with you. But he would basically fall all the way back to the back half of the field. And when unfortunately, he would fall all the way back from being a contender, which he was really good early in the run, he would fall all the way back to outside the top 20 in this race. Then we go green for a long time. It's around 83 laps to go. The next cautious race would come out for Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace would basically spin on the back street. He's running 23rd time. He would bring out the caution for spinning. Once again, was really important to see. 23-11 has struggled throughout this event. We go back racing in lap 223. Now, there was some strategy that basically took place. Ross Chastain decided to stay out while the rest of the leaders decided to come down pit road. Kyle Larson was able to make really quick work and was able to pass him. Then with around 74 laps to go in this event, we would see the final major caution of this event take place, where Chase Briscoe was having a very strong run once again. Unfortunately, he would be another driver that would lose his brakes, and he'd bring out the final caution of this event. Then there was some strategy that started happening because we were so close and so tight on field. A lot of drivers decided to top down off on field. Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Brad Keselowski, Rick Stenhouse Jr., among others, decided to come down the road, while the rest of the leaders decided to stay out. We go back racing on lap 233 for the final restart event, and Kyle Larson was able to clear William Byron. Chase Elliott tried to make a dive bomb 3-wide move, but he was not really able to do that, and he never got a chance to contend with that. Then the big question was the field game was starting to come up because these guys are coming back. Guys like Daniel Suarez, Rick Jr., and Ross Chastain, who had a ton of speed. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson started had some debris on his car around 55 laps to go, but a few laps later, he was able to clear his grill. And Kyle Larson was doing incredible when it came to the field save. Around 40 laps ago, he was told that he was good on field, and he was good there. Then there was potential issues happening for Chase Elliott. He was running 5th at the time. He potentially had a loose right rear wheel, unfortunately, but he was able to continue racing up to this point. And we saw some guys come down pit road. Then you saw Ross Chastain was really, in my opinion, the star of the show here at the end of the event. He drove all the way from being outside the top 10 after the piss off, drove all the way up to second. It was nearly 5 seconds back of Kyle Larson. but he was not going to have enough time to catch Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson had been dominating this event, and coming off the final corner, Kyle Larson continues his domination in the NASCAR Cup Series and wins by 5 seconds over Ross Chastain in this event. Let me just say for the record, Kyle Larson right now is unstoppable right now. Kyle Larson has won 4 straight races, including the All-Star race. He has been on fire. He's now finished worse than second in the last 6 or 7 races. You knew coming this event, yes, it's a different track, and we never raced here, and Kyle Larson never raced here. But Kyle Larson is one of the best drivers to adapt to things, and he did an incredible job today. And in domination, just by Kyle Larson, not by Hendrick Motorsports, but Kyle Larson, man, is the best driver in the Cup Series right now and continues to put up dominating performances. I've been really happy to watch him. Every time I've worn this shirt, man, Kyle Larson's been able to go to victory lane. Keep wearing this shirt. I want Kyle Larson to continue this domination. He's been doing incredible this year. We thought that coming in this year, Kyle Larson was going to be good. We did not expect him to dominate like this. And you have to go back to some races like Kansas, where Kyle Larson dominated that event. Atlanta dominated that event. Bristol probably could have won that event. The fact that Kyle Larson continuing to dominate like he's been doing is really, really incredible to watch. And he's been on an incredible tear here in the Cup Series. So anyway, let's go ahead and go through the race results and then go over the score of tonight's event and talk about the race overall. So Kyle Larson wins tonight's race. Ross Chastain who finished second, put together in hell of a performance. One of the best races Ross Chastain has put together. He did an incredible job running top 10 all day. Had a ton of speed in this event. Great to see Ross Chastain get a runner-up finish in today's race. William Byron had to battle back from adversity, but he gets a very solid third-place finish. Really great to see William Byron have a very strong run here. And another solid top for William Byron. He ran the Truck Series race to get some experience for the event, and he did a very solid job here at Nashville Superspeedway. Eric Almirola finishes fourth. Best race Eric Almirola's pulled together. He ran a top 10 and a top 5 pretty much the whole entire race. Did really, really good. I hope this is a turning point for Eric Almirola because, man, I've been feeling so bad for Eric Almirola. It seems like every time he has a good run, something goes terribly wrong. The fact that he finally gets to top 5 is really great to see. And we ran really, really well today. An incredible run for Eric Almirola. Kevin Hart finishes 5th. A solid top 5 run for Kevin Hart. Ran top 5 quite a bit today as well. Great run for him. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished 6th. Best run Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has had throughout the year so far. Was out to second a majority of this race. Ran in second place for like almost over 100 laps of this event. Ran top 5 a majority event. He almost got back in the top 5, but that should definitely be a boost confidence overall Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And that's going to definitely help him in the point standings as well. He's back in the championship, about to make the playoffs right now. Daniel Suarez in Trackhouse Racing. An incredible performance for Trackhouse Racing today. Ran a top 10 a majority of the day. The pit strategy really, really helped them overall. But they ran a top 10 a lot of the race. It's great to see the Daniel Suarez and Trackhouse Racing are continuing to perform as well as they have. And great run for them. Kurt Busch, who ran out of gas, finishes 8th. Solid run for Kurt Busch regardless. A big bounce back week for Kurt Busch as well. Chip Ganassi had overall a very solid run today. Christopher Bell finishes 9th. Christopher Bell, despite having an uncontrolled tire penalty, bounces back to top 10 run. Got to be happy overall with that run. Joe Logano finished the 7th. Logano had probably a top 5 car, but they pitted at the end of the race. It kind of fell back in the second half of the race. Their car kind of fell out, but he still finished 10th. Solid run for him. Kyle Busch, who had a really strong car early, fell back and still bounces back to a solid top 15 run. That basically helped him overall. Kyle Busch, hopefully things can turn around for him. He's been solid overall this year, but today wasn't a great run for Kyle Busch, but he finishes 11th in today's race. Austin Dillon, 12th place. Solid run for Austin Dillon today. Chase Elliott finishes 13th. Chase Elliott was running in the top 5. I'm not sure what happened to Chase Elliott at the end of the race. I think he's basically really falling off. Something was going on wrong with Chase Elliott. Ryan Newman, solid top 15. They didn't really talk much about Ryan Newman today, but a solid top 15 run for Ryan Newman in today's race. Alex Dillon finishes 15th. Corey LaJoie with a solid top 16 finish and 16th place finish. Really good run for him. Michael McDowell, a solid top 20 run. Great run for Michael McDowell. Another top 20 run for Michael McDowell is great to see for sure. Anthony Alfredo finishes 18th. Anthony Alfredo had the best run, I think, so far of his NASCAR Cup Series career. Qualified in the top 20 of the event. Was really, really fast. Ran in the top 25 majority of the day. You got to be happy for Michael McDowell, Anthony Alfredo and both Michael McDowell. Both front row cars finishing top 20 is really good for the team. Tyler Reddick finishes 19th. Solid run for him. Eric Jones finishes 20th. Bubba Wallace, despite having his issues, bounces back to a 21st place finish. Again, Bubba Wallace, that team is in a new year. I know they got us at some point start performing a little bit better than they have. I've been giving them a little bit of break and cutting them a little bit of slack, but at some point, with how good Trackhouse is performing, the expectations of this team coming in here were really, really high, and they probably shouldn't have been as high as they've been, but they finished 21st. They saw a bounce back for them. Denny Hamlin finished 22nd. Denny Hamlin ran out of gas. He ran top 5 a lot of his race. He finishes 22nd. Mark Truex Jr. finished 23rd. Mark Truex Jr. and this 19 team have been falling off poorly. They have been terrible. They only had one top 15 finish in the last 5 straight races. They've been terrible. And I don't know what's been going on with that 19 team, but they got to turn whatever bad luck mojo they've got going on. They got to turn this season around really, really quickly. Brad Keselowski finished 24th. Matt DiBenedetto finished 25th. Garrett Sidley finished 26th. 27th place finish for Josh Wilkie. 28th place finish for J.J. Haley. 29th place finish for BJ McLeod. 30th place finish Joey Gates. Hey, all the Rick Ware cars finished top 30 for once, and J.J. Haley was actually kind of competitive. Ran top 25 a lot of the day. Great to see a Rick Ware race car extended. Had a very strong run in the IndyCar race earlier today, too. Remain Grosjean. They finished all in top 30. Solid run for them. Cole Custer finishes 31st, 32nd place finish for Chase Briscoe, 33rd place finish for Ryan Preece, 34th place finish for Chad Fitcham, 35th place finish for David Starr, 36th place finish for Justin Haley, 37th for Chris Buescher, 38th place for Ryan Blaney, and finishing last in 39th place is going to be Quinn Houff. So let's go ahead and talk about the race overall and give you a score of today's race. You know, coming in this race, there definitely was a lot of hype for this event. And I will say Nashville Superspeedway, in my opinion, delivered a lot better than I thought it was going to. I didn't deliver as good as I thought it was going to go, but I think it delivered overall for the first time here in Nashville. I think they did a very solid job overall. One suggestion I do have for this event next year is I think they need to shorten this race to 250 laps. I don't think they need to have this race 300 laps and 400 miles. I think the race at points the race kind of dragged on. You don't need to have races. I think all Cup Series races except the Super Speedways and all the Crown Jewel events. I think all Cup Series races need to be done within 3 hours or less. I really believe that the race is a little bit too long. Again, it was not a bad race. For a race that was really, really long, it wasn't a bad race overall. But if I had a suggestion for this race next year, make this race a little bit shorter in my honest opinion. That's just my honest thoughts there, but I think they need to shorten this race here in Nashville for next year. But overall, and also some of the changes I made in the beginning of the episode, fix some of the accommodations, get better parking issues got to be fixed for next year. Remember, they got 3 more years of the track. They'll probably do better the second year. Hopefully, things will get better at Nashville Superspeedway. But overall, today's Nashville Superspeedway race, I'm going to give today's Nashville Superspeedway race an 8 out of 10. Again, a very solid race in Nashville Superspeedway. Not the best race I've ever seen at Nashville Superspeedway. I think there's been a couple Xfinity Series races that have been really, really good. But that resin combination, that combo they had on the track, really, really helped the racing. And yes, Kyle Larson dominated, but not all races that Kyle Larson's dominated or driver dominates are really, really bad. I'm giving tonight's race here in Nashville an 8 out of 10. So, anyway, that is the game for today's race review from Nashville Superspeedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, notification on, so you'll be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support page as well. And basically comment below your thoughts on tonight's race. What are your thoughts on tonight's race? Let me know your score in the comments below. And congratulate Kyle Larson on winning tonight's race here at Nashville Superspeedway. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I'll see you guys next time for some more great and awesome NASCAR content. Next week, we're headed to Pocono for the doubleheader. I'm definitely looking forward to that for sure.